Well, hi, crafty crew. This is Deba with Creative 5-Minute Crafts, the channel that focuses on paper crafting and more. Today, we're going to answer the question, what is a junk journal? Well, I have to be honest with you, when I first heard the term junk journal, I was not excited. Dealing with junk has never really been my thing, and so a junk journal just never seemed that appealing to me. But once I realized what a junk journal was, I actually became rather excited because of several reasons. One, junk journals are made by the user. So if you're a creative person, you can create a journal with anything that you have in your home. It could be scraps of paper, scraps of wrapping paper, ribbons, old buttons, even gift bags, believe it or not. You know that too, the reason that junk journals are really appealing now is because they're on the inexpensive side. A lot of these items you have in your house already, you purchase them for other things, and you have scraps left over. Perfect for a junk journal. We know that large planning companies, large paper companies like the Happy Planner, Erin Condren, and others who put together beautiful planners and journals that they sell all year long that are nicely bound. Some of them have interchangeable discs, so you can add and subtract and make that journal or that planner your own, and they're great. But let's face it, they're expensive. And not everybody wants to fork out large sums of money just for a booklet or a book that they can keep their daily plans in, and also maybe some memorable things that they want to hold on to. Not everybody wants to do that. So junk journals are perfect for those people who are budget-minded. They like to have something that's personal for them, but they also want to keep the cost low. It's perfect. But let me show you some of the things that I have for my junk journal. And I may find some other things even as I move through my stash that I can use to put together in my journal as well. So this may not be an exhaustive list, but it will be something to get me started. And I'll show you how easy it is to look around your house and find some things that you can use. So, without further ado, here is what I have collected to put together a junk journal. Let's start with the cover. Now, for the cover, what I have decided to start with, and I'm actually going to make a rather small one to begin with, but let me show you what I'm starting with, and that is a gift bag. This is just a regular gift bag. This particular one has a nice, pretty, happy design, and it has a beautiful bow. The next thing that I will add to my junk journal, I had this piece of netting in my craft supply that has these little glittery bits attached to it, and that will be a beautiful addition. I found some of this unusual looking wrapping paper, and if you could see, it kind of has a pinky purple look to it, but it's basically lines on a page, a cream colored page with a few pink dots. So we'll be incorporating that. I also found a paper doily. This is about a 9-inch paper doily. Approximately 8-inch paper doily. And we will use that in our stash. I found some wrapping paper. This particular tissue paper came from Dollar Tree, and this is the tissue paper that has the little glittery dots attached to it. So it's multicolored, and it will just add a fun element. We might actually end up taking this tissue paper and turning it into rice paper. That might be an interesting look. We'll see about that. But then I have this tissue paper. that came in a package that I received. This was some of the wrapping that they included. This also might make some interesting rice paper, but we'll include that. I have just a random envelope here. It looks like it's got a little something that was stuck to it. I've used this here to, I had a tape runner that actually had wording on the tape runner, and so I used this to try out the tape runner. So it's got a little, like a smattering of words, but this would be awesome in our junk journal. I have a couple of pieces of ribbon. This is a white iridescent ribbon, and here is a blue ribbon, which I think would look beautiful. Now here's something interesting. I opened this tea bag and I thought, well, what a cute little embellishment we could use. Little pocket that we could make for our junk journal, so you'll see what I do with that. We also have some additional wrapping paper. Here is some other wrapping paper I found in my stash. We can use that for some of the pages in the junk journal. Some additional papers that I found. This is quite a spectacular piece of paper here. This is part of wrapping paper, a little piece of wrapping paper. Here is another, just really far out. This is also like a piece of, it's like a piece of vellum. It's transparent, and it has a beautiful iridescent kind of purpley blue color. I have another piece of tissue paper, and then here's another piece of wrapping paper. Well, actually, I think this is tissue paper that has an interesting design. We also will incorporate some of this netting. Now, I'm sure you can buy this as a formal craft item, but what I do is when I receive something either that I've purchased, whether it's fruit or whether it's an item. This piece of netting here was part of a bag of oranges. I just saved a nice piece of the netting. This here was a popsicle mold that I purchased. It came in this netting. I saved that. And if you recall seeing one of my earlier videos where I went through a craft stash that I had in my storage, you'll recall this little container here that was full of buttons. And a lot of these are probably now considered vintage buttons. But I went through my stash and I found several buttons that I think might be quite attractive with this particular junk journal when we are ready to affix the closure. So as you can see, let me grab the bag here. This button would look lovely with it. Although this is a little rustic, this is very fancy, so I may not go with that one, but this would be adorable. Look at that. Look how cute that would be. And then if we wanted to do maybe a different type of closure, I have two little pink ones here. We could do something kind of neat and decorative with those. So we'll figure that out when we get to it. I also have some of this blue, sort of a teal colored raffia. And I also have some pink raffia. So this is what I have accumulated so far. I also picked this up at Dollar Tree. This is clear glue. It is washable. It's just like your white glue. It's just clear. It dries clear. So we will be incorporating that as well. Here are a few other items that I picked up for the junk journal. This is a sheet of clear stamps from Dollar Tree. You can see they're very appropriate for summertime. They have a lot of fun stamps, and we will use these to add to the junk journal. I also have tissue paper. This is Hallmark branded tissue paper, but I thought it was a fun design and it will be a nice, fun, happy addition to our junk journal. And from Tuesday Morning, I picked up these beautiful napkins. These are 3-ply napkins from Punch Studio. They have beautiful soft colors, very feminine, very pretty, but I thought it would be a beautiful addition to our junk journal, and it also includes the butterfly motif, which will go right along with the theme of our junk journal.